New Orleans police secretly used facial recognition on over 200 live camera feeds. Spotify iOS users can now buy audiobooks directly from the app. And SAG-AFTRA says Fortnite's AI Darth Vader voice violates fair labor practices. It's Tuesday, May 20th, and here's a quick look at tech in the news this morning from Engadget. The New Orleans police force secretly used constant facial recognition to seek out suspects for 2 years. An investigation by the Washington Post discovered that the city's police department was using facial recognition technology on a privately owned camera network to continually look for suspects. This application seems to violate a city ordinance passed back in 2022 that required facial recognition only to be used by police to search for specific suspects of violent crimes and then to provide details about the scan's use to the city council. However, the Washington Post found that officers did not reveal their reliance on the technology in the paperwork for several arrests where facial recognition was used, and none of those cases were included in mandatory city council reports. Nathan Freed Wessler, an ACLU deputy director, said, "This is the facial recognition technology nightmare scenario that we have been worried about. This is the government giving itself the power to track anyone, for that matter, everyone, as we go about our lives walking around in public." Wessler added that this is the first known case in a major U.S. city where police used AI-powered automated facial recognition to identify people in live camera feeds for the purpose of making immediate arrests. Police use and misuse of surveillance technology has been thoroughly documented over the years, although several U.S. cities and states have placed restrictions on how law enforcement can use facial recognition. Those limits will not do anything to protect privacy if they're routinely ignored by officers. Spotify is continuing to add more ways for listeners to directly make purchases within its iOS app. Following on the streaming service's changes to make purchasing subscriptions easier earlier this month, there's now an option for users to buy audiobooks in Spotify. The company said in a blog post, Spotify submitted a new app update that Apple has approved. Spotify users in the U.S. can now see pricing, buy individual audiobooks, and purchase additional top-up hours for audiobook listening beyond the 15 hours included in Premium each month. The wave of changes stems from the ongoing court case between Apple and Epic Games surrounding fees for purchases made outside the App Store. While things appear to be swinging in favor of app and service providers, Apple is likely to continue challenging the rules even as it makes changes to allow for external payment options. SAG-AFTRA, the labor union representing performers in film, television, and interactive media, has submitted an unfair labor practice filing against Epic Games for using an AI-generated version of Darth Vader's voice in the current season of Fortnite. Disney and Epic first announced on May 16th that Fortnite would feature a take on the character using an AI-generated version of James Earl Jones's voice. The issue in SAG-AFTRA's eyes is that the union is currently on strike while it negotiates a new contract with video game companies, and using an AI-generated voice represents Epic refusing to bargain in good faith. The AI-powered version of Darth Vader is interactive, but that doesn't change the fact that the video game version of Darth Vader has frequently been played by actors other than Jones. Disney got permission from Jones and his family to use AI to replicate his voice for film and TV in 2022, so there is precedent for an AI performance of this kind. And after Jones's death in September of 2024, the AI route technically became the only way to use Darth Vader's original voice, other than reusing clips of past performances. Unless, of course, Epic or Disney wanted to pay another actor to play Darth Vader, which would require coming to an agreement on a new contract for video game performers. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode features journalism from Anna Washenko and Ian Carlos Campbell and was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.